What's going on, lovey-doveys? I hope everyone is well. And yes, I am here to talk. You read that right. About the Lorena Bobbitt case. Do you guys remember that from 1993? I remember it especially. I was in the 4th grade. Ooh, I just dated myself, huh? I'm actually super young for my age, though. I started high school when I was only 13. So anyways, aside from that, but I am going to tell you guys about Lorena Bobbitt. So buckle up, buttercups, and let's do this, right? Before I get started, as usual, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If we're on YouTube, click that button. Click it, subscribe. You're going to love it because I got plenty more. Let's do it. So, I don't know if you're like me, in 1993, I was a kid and I remember hearing these rumors. I want to tell you guys the story for so long, but there's so many details and there's so many different aspects about this story. So I'm going to try and give you guys the short version tonight. And then if anyone's interested, I'll always go in more detail. But, and I could always be wrong in some of my details. Don't come at me all crazy. I'm doing the best I can. So anyways, my version of the story is when I was a kid, I remember hearing 93, remember that was Lion King and Shiznit. So it was in the jungle, I remember riding the bus and hearing the older kids singing, in the kitchen, the mighty kitchen, Lorena sharpens her knife. A wiener whack, a wiener whack. Y'all remember that? I do. I was a kid. I was 9. I don't know, 8, 7. I don't know. I was a kid. I remember it. I remember hearing the stories too that, she was mad and she had cut it off because he didn't mow the lawn or something stupid. And then their dog had grabbed it and ran down the street with it and the police came and this and that. And then it was all over the TVs. It was chaos. Now, obviously, a lot of that is rumors, whatnot. Some of it is, some of it isn't. You know what I mean? So, the other thing I heard that it was, very funny as a kid, too, was, how he did get reattached and that he became a porn star and just a lot of really, crazy stuff. I remember, it being super televised, that was, during OJ. Just there were so many crazy things going on, and this is before all this technology and stuff. Again, like I said, this is 1993. So let me give you guys the actual story that I know, or my version of it. Again, I wasn't there. This is just my version of the details I know and remember. I want to share with you. Let's do it, right? Jiminy Cricket! I'm a chatty Cathy. I was on a power walk with my little brother. It's after hours here in Florida. But that's what, Florida's about. We always sneaking in and doing stuff we shouldn't be doing. So we're all breaking into parks and stuff. So I'm sweaty and coming back. So bear with me. Did a serious power walk and sneaking into the park and being all sneaky. And sometimes we see the park rangers and the patrols. We gotta duck and hide and cover the dog's mouth. Shh, don't you bark. It's craziness. Sorry, all right, back to Lorena Bobbitt. A wiener whack, a wiener whack. Focus, focus. Are you laughing yet? Sorry, this isn't funny, actually. What's wrong with me? All right, so Lorena, she came to the U.S. She was born in Ecuador or whatnot. She came to the U.S. when she was just graduated high school or whatever, on a student visa. She enrolled in a community college in Virginia, and she ended up at a Marine Ball, and that's where she met John Wayne Bobbitt. It's Massasonis or something, Virginia. I don't know. Isn't that terrible that I'm not even going to tell you guys their exact city name because I don't have the time to look, but now we got to do this, right? So anyways, so they met at this Marine Ball and she's here on a student visa and never had a boyfriend or anything before and thinking he's a Marine. He's a friggin' Marine. My brother's a Marine. My brother's a scumbag. He's a douche. My brother's fucking amazing. Oh, friggin'. Ooh. Friggin' amazing. At the same time, you know what I mean? He can be such a jerk. He's my brother. I got another little one, too. He can be a douche, a D-bag, too. But, they're good people at core, and that's what matters. They're good men at core. Anyways, you expect that of a Marine, right? She's here trying to, have the American dream, the whole shebang, whatever. She meets him, and he's yeah, she's cute. I could do that. I'm down, type attitude. And so they hook up, whatnot, and they start dating. I shouldn't say they hook up and whatnot, because that's not what happened. They like talked and exchanged phone numbers to like start courting, corresponding, whatnot. What up, Stevie V? Love you tons. To start courting and whatever else. So she's like never had a boyfriend before. What, you know, the whole, like, this is a big deal to her. And he's being a perfect gentleman and being very polite and stuff. So they date and stuff. And she's actually at the time working for this very successful woman who she's working as a nanny for her. But this woman runs like multiple salons that they do nails and, you know, that kind of stuff. And she's doing very well. And Lorena's like, what can I do to be a part of this? How do I make this my dream? Like, I want to do well. I want to provide for my children. I want to have a good life. And the lady was like, yo, I'll help you out. You're an amazing nanny. I'll show you how to be a manicurist. I'll hook you up. She does that. Well, her student visa, whatever, is running out. So her and John get married. There's different versions of this story. I'm going to give you guys my rundown. So they get married. 1989, I think it is. I could be lying. I don't want to lie. Don't do that. 1989, I believe it is. So they get married, and like, she's in love. She's thinking she's having the American dream, and like, you know, they're gonna have to start a family. They're gonna work hard and build a life, and you know, like, you know, obviously not like an empire. Like, she's gonna be like Snoop Dogg or some shiznit, but like, she just wanted to like have a comfortable life, to provide for her children. So that's her plan. Within 2 months of this marriage, John Wayne Bobbitt, you know, Marine Corps sergeant. No, I shouldn't say sergeant, because he was never that. He was dismissed. Whether honorably or dishonorably, no one knows. I don't know. My brother's a Marine. Maybe I should ask him. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But either way, he was dismissed. And then he had a hard time holding employment. Like, could not hold a city job to save his life. But anyway, so they end up getting married. And during this course, within like 2 months of them getting married, it's like a whole new John Bobbitt. He's, you know, one, drinking excessively more than he ever has. John's always been a big drinker, but like, he's drinking even more. He's just like a straight flirt. He's disrespectful. He's becoming physically aggressive. He's getting like his sexual drives like out of control and like demanding sex from her, forcefully taking control of her. Which eventually, over time, like she said, it was like within a month to 2 months that things started changing. Within a few months, it went from like just forcing it to like straight up coming home wasted, slamming her down, flipping up her dress, and taking it in the back door. Like, I'm your husband, this is the way it is. And she's like, John, you're hurting me, you know, like in the corner crying, whatnot. And he's like, this is what it is. Welcome to America. Yo, I'm from Canada. And I came to America, but that's not how we do this shit. What is happening? Anyways, but John's like, if you don't like it, I'll get you deported. And she's like, I wanna keep my family with you, but like, you're hurting me. And he's like, shut your face, slamming her down and like straight up, R.A.P. and grapes and whatever else, and her left and right. You know, there's one time he's like drinking and driving like a maniac, and so she like tries to like steady the wheel. I was like, John, you're scaring me, slow down. And he like hauls off and starts punching her in the face, and I mean, like, hold up, hey. So anyways, this is happening within months of being married. Things are not going well, needless to say. She ends up getting pregnant in 1991. Now, again, John has been, you know, discharged, whether it be honorably or dishonorably. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't have all the details. I tried calling them. They didn't call me back. That's not true. I did not try calling them. But, I mean, no one told me specifically, but from what I know, he was discharged and like he could not hold a job. So she's working as a nanny. She's working as a manicurist and trying to like do the best she can to support them, whatnot. And things are just going south. Things are going terrible. He can't hold a job. He's drinking all the time. He's flirting with girls. She's coming home. He's like in girls' apartments and he's down by the pool hanging out with some chick. Like, she's like, seriously, coming home. He's like constantly watching porn. I mean, like, inappropriate, dude. Pull some weight, dude. Man up. You're a damn Marine. Representing our freaking country. I mean, I guess I should now told you guys I'm Canadian. You're like, what? What country? What? Yeah. But still, like, come on, dude, man up. Anywho, so she gets pregnant and he's like, we can't afford this. God forbid he go get a fucking, I said a freckin'. That's what my Bubba says. My Bubba says, a freckin'. I'll get a freckin', you know, a job or something to support it. He's like, nope, you need to get an abortion. This is too much, too soon. If you don't, I'm going to leave you. To her, she's like blown away. This woman can barely speak like fluent English, to be honest with you. So he like convinces her, like, this is what you got to do. This is what Americans do. This is how you get the dream. Like, we can't do this now. This is going to put us further in the hole. It's going to destroy us. I will leave you if you keep this baby type stuff. Okay, on top of that, like I said, he's already, and, you know, in the back door and throwing her down, like chaos. So, needless to say, he takes her this abortion. It's even said that while she's sitting there waiting for the abortion, that he's like taunting her. So bad that a nurse comes out and this is in 1991, 92. And like so bad that a nurse comes out and like takes her and is like, ma'am, come in here. Because he's like taunting her so badly. Anyways, so this goes on, whatnot. Needless to say, things are not going well. She's devastated about the abortion. The physical, emotional, and sexual abuse continues. So they get divorced at one... no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say divorced. They get separated. I'm sorry. Excuse that. They get separated at one point. And then they try and work it out again. Because again, she's Catholic. And like, she, you know, she's like, why can't I make this work? And, you know, he's the American dream. And he keeps threatening like, you know, at any point in time, I could have you deported. You're only here because of me. You understand I'm a Marine? Mofo, you've been discharged. I can't hold a damn job. You're a what? You can do a what? You can get her what? But she didn't know this back then. This 1993 didn't have all this crap where she could Google and find out answers and get support like they do now for domestic violence victims and the whole shebang. Anyways, this goes on. They get back together and things are going south. They decide that they're going to get separated again. They get in a fight. She goes to... Again, another report is made with the police, blah, blah, blah. This goes on, like, several times reports are made. He gets arrested one time for assault, but then that all gets smashed. Anyways, in 1993, they get in the big fight. She goes to get a restraining order, and they are like, you know, get all the details. She spills everything. It's hard for her to speak, like I said. You know, she spills it all out. And like, all right, come back in 3 hours and we'll give it to you. She's like, what? You know, like, are you kidding me? I can't come back in 3 hours. He's going to know I've been here talking to you, this and that, blah, blah, whatever. They're like, well, that's what it is. If you want a restraining order and want some help, you got to come back. She's like, I got to be at work. No, I can't. So she goes home. This brings us to June 23rd, right? 1993. Let's make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, June 23rd, 1993. His friend has come in town and he's like telling him, yeah, you can live with us, whatever. Meanwhile, he's telling Lorena he's there for like 2 weeks. He's like, oh, you're in town. Let's go out and get, you know, shiznit can. I'm like trying not to curse so hard. I'm like, ugh. It's like almost having Tourette's, trying not to curse for me. Anyways, let's go out and get wasted. So they go out and Lorena goes to bed and they come back and his friend passes out and John crawls into the bed. The story's disputed, but I'm going to tell you guys my version of what I know, okay? So John crawls into the freaking bed and starts trying to get all handsy with Lorena. And she's like, no, 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 no. And he's like, yeah. You're my wife. Like I told you before. You're my wife. You do what I say when I say. I don't care if we're separating, divorcing. You lay down and take it type style. I'm just saying. So he does it. And she's like bawling once again and feels like an absolute shell of a woman and absolutely traumatized. Like, as she should. Just because you're married doesn't mean I'm your friggin' property and you take what you want when you want. That's not the way this works. Unless we have like a binding agreement of that, that's not the way this works. I know in some relationships it does, but people agree to that stuff. And she was not in agreement. Like, she wouldn't like, oh yeah, I'm your servant and slave. That never happened. So anywho, after he's like done and stuff, he like rolls over and passes out. She's like sitting there, you know, shivering and crying and like bawling. Like, what the heck just happened again? And gets up to get a glass of water. As she's like opening the fridge, apparently the fridge light like just hits this knife sitting on the counter perfectly. She grabs the friggin' knife and like, and that's not true. She doesn't grab it first. She like, as she looks and sees light hitting it, she like has all these flashes of the first time he started punching her, of the multiple times he's raped her, you know, in the front door, back door, you know, forced her to do things she didn't want to do, hit her, restrained her, done so many things to her, cheated on her, the whole shebang, all just flashing on top of the just right now assault, flashing. And she literally picks up the knife, walks in the room, pulls up the sheets, grabs his schlong, that's what we're going to call it, I guess, schlong, and with that knife, man. And I'm telling you what, that was a clean slice, like straight to the pelvis practically. She then like pretty much panics with the knife in one hand and the schlong in the other hand, runs out of the house, jumps in her car and begins driving. At one point, she, I guess, pulls over and, like, realizes, you know, she's, like, you know, covered in blood and, you know, freaking out and, like, probably coming out of this, like, trance of whatever was going on when this all happened. And realizes, like, she has the schlong in her hand and the knife and, like, trying to drive and blood, and she chucks it out the window by inappropriate shirt on. Auntie Cuckoo. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. She chucks it out the window by a 7-Eleven. So she chucks it out the window by a 7-Eleven and goes to her friend, the one that was like the, you know, showing her the way in the world, her girlfriend that she was the nanny for and a manicurist for, goes to her house covered in blood, knife and stuff. I'm sorry, that's not true. She threw the knife out, covered in blood, hands empty now because she's thrown the schlong and the knife out, and like tells her like, oh, you know, I did. So they call 911. Meanwhile, John is back at the house. It takes him like over a minute or two, they say. Again, I wasn't there to like realize that like he's been severed, castrated, like it's gone down to the pelvis bone. Like, you done, John. You better clog that real quick. Gets up, wakes his friend up, takes him to the ER, and he's like, look what happened. She's crazy. You know, doesn't say any of his stuff. He's like, she did this to me. Look at this. So Lorena's like, well, it's by the... Sorry. She's like, it's by the 7-Eleven. I just threw it out the window by the 7-Eleven, which kudos to you, Lorena, for being the bigger person. Because I'd be like, I don't know where it is. What they do on Friends, right? That's what I would have said. But anyways, she was like, it's by the 7-Eleven. They get it. They go into the 7-Eleven and like put it in one of the little hot dog trays and throw some ice on it and like rush it to the hospital. 9.5 hour surgery this man's in. And like, they're just trying to like figure out a way so this man can pee again. Nonetheless, you know, praying and hoping that it continues to work. So that happens. Lorena obviously, you know, like I said, when she went to her girlfriend's house and was like, oh my God, this is what happened. John you know, took advantage of me multiple ways, and then I like just blanked out, and I did this, and this is what happened, and this is where it is, and 911, and please come, and she's talking and tells it. The whole shebang happens. Like, that's a wild story in itself. So needless to say, this goes international, like hits the headlines everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. This is insane stuff. And this, like I said, in 1993, like, you know, War of the Sexes and all the chaos, and like the women were like, heck yeah, you know, marital abuse and this and that. And there was no laws about this stuff back then, you know, where it pretty much stated that, like, yeah, you're married, your husband can take it when he wants it and can do what he wants with you. Like, obviously a lot's been changed since then, but like back then that's the way it was, which is so crazy that I tell a story like that. God, that makes me feel old. Anyways, so the whole thing goes down, it's divided, and it is televised, like literally the whole shebang. Come to find out, I shouldn't say that, kind of how it all ended up is that John gets charged with, sexually assaulting Lorena, I believe it is. And he gets let off because they're like, it's a husband and a wife, and they live together, and they should be able to knock boots when they want. Whether the other person doesn't want to or not. That's what happens when you say I do. Really? Anyways, and then Lorena, she ended up getting acquitted with temporary insanity, which thank God, because they were trying to offer like a 4-month deal if she would admit that she like premeditated to do it, or else going against 20 years. And she was like, you know what, I will take the chance because I didn't premeditate it. Like, literally, it just happened, whatnot. You know, she was very innocent and was willing to fight it, and I'm glad she did, because she was acquitted for temporary insanity, you know, due to like a domestic violence she suffered. And, you know, that's a wild one, right? How's that for a doozy? I love how I end them. Like, all of a sudden I'm like, all right, and then that's it. So thank you so much as usual for checking in. I appreciate you. Stay safe, stay amazing, stay beautiful. Don't be taking off your wives and your girlfriends and then sleeping just wide willy all crazy. All right? Sleep on your belly and just be a good boy to start with. Just be a decent man. How about that? You won't have to worry about it if you're just a decent man. I'm just saying. Be a decent person. You won't have to worry about it. But if you're not, better keep one eye open. A wiener whack, a wiener whack, a wiener whack in the bedroom, the mighty bed. Oh, that's so wrong. Anyways, please don't forget to subscribe. Stay safe. Stay safe and amazing. Peace, love, chicken wang. Appreciate ya.